Welcome to Advance the Dream, our weekly community chat, where we celebrate legacy makers and family heroes who are actively advancing the dream in the spirit of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We talk about health, challenges, highlights and heroes in an intergenerational fashion in hopes that his legacy of hope and equality continue to live on. This weekly series, powered by the Force for Health Network, is aired live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn at 8 a.m. Pacific Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then shared afterwards at advancethedream.com. Now, let's meet our hosts, Force for Health Network co-founders, Dr. Robert Giglio and Lucy Howell, alongside our National Director, Joshua Williams Jr., as we dive into this week's topic. Welcome to Advance the Dream.
I'm sorry about that. Hello, everybody. My name is Lucy Howell, and we are here with a special edition of Advance the Dream, coming live from Dillard University at their Health, Housing, Community, and Resource Fair, I believe. We've got Joshua Williams, who is our National Director for Advance the Dream, also program founder of You Do Matter, and author of All Aboard for STEAM. And he's going to be hosting a special session and a live session there from Dillard University. So I'm going to go ahead and Rob, want to make a quick intro before we hand it over to Josh.
Hi, Dr. Rob Giglio, co-founder of the Force for Health with Lucy, but also the beneficiary of 20 years of friendship that originated as Josh and I tried to help open up his school after Hurricane Katrina. At the time when Josh had nothing going on, he made sure the kids that had nothing had a safe refuge with his program after schools and especially Saturday morning. It's a privilege to be exposed to it and a privilege that my daughter got sucked into it a little bit at the time as well.
So Josh, the program is all yours, my friend.
Thank you, Lucy. Dr. Rob, thank you as well too. To everyone that is in attendance, we wanted to welcome you to what we have, the most beautiful campus in America, Dillard University. And as you saw, as you entered our campus, it is a full-fledged day of healthy activities going on here at Dillard. We have a quick little program that we have that's actually available for you guys today, which we're going to try to get right into. But first, we wanted to, as we do customary, we wanted to welcome you guys here on behalf of the You Do Matter and the Force for Health organization to our reunion piece that we have established with the foundation. This is an opportunity for kids to come back, meet each other after years of training and going on to different elements in different places. And we are actually turning all of that into something that we need to change. To change. Excuse me on that. My grandson was just taken to the doctor. She was calling to update me. She got a text. But we wanted to actually come together to actually show and appreciate what these young men and women have done over the past year, where they are today. That's why we call this segment, Where Are You Now? And we actually want to bring them together to actually just give us an overview of what they're doing, where they're doing it, and how they're doing. So with that in mind, I wanted to see if we could do a quick prayer, because it's customary. We wanted to always thank Almighty for what he's done and what he is doing. So if you'll bow your head, we want to do a quick prayer. Our gracious and eternal God, our Father, how we once again thank you for the tenderest affections that you continue to give us each and every day. Yes. Lord, we know for certainty that we don't nearly deserve half of what you do for us, not even a fraction. But it's proof of your undying love for us. And Lord, before we take any of it back, we want to add more to it because you really, really been good to us. Lord, bless us in this moment. Allow someone to hear what is being said so that we all may leave this place being a better people. Yes. Lord, we have to praise you because you alone are worthy of the praise.
Yes.
Let me ask the name of our Lord, our Savior, our King. We pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Our first order of business today. We would like to bring to the stage one of our youngest participants in the program. A lot of you guys have had children in the program that started at different ages, but this is one of the youngest young people that we've actually ever had in our program. So getting started, we're going to actually show a quick little snap of him. That is Knight Norman. Knight Norman started the program at age 5, which is the youngest
You Do
age.
Matter program spotlight is Knight Norman, the young for the You Do Matter program at the age of 5 years old. He is now a 5th grade honor roll student at Langley Elementary School in San Antonio, Texas. He is currently on the baseball team and karate program. Please welcome Mr. Knight Norman to the stage.
Hi
Hey, man.
everyone. My name Hello.
Go ahead on, Knight.
Good
You can,
morning everybody.
Yeah, introduce yourself.
Hello everyone. My name is Knight Norman, an 11-year-old 5th grader, 10-year-old 5th grader at Langley Elementary School in San Antonio, Texas. Right now, I'm an honor roll student who loves playing sports. Right now, I'm playing spring baseball and practicing karate. Right now, I want to become a paleontologist because I've loved dinosaurs since I was little all the way to now. When I was 5 years old, my mom thought it would be a good idea for me to learn about hands-on technology because that's where the world is headed. She reached out to Mr. Josh to see if I could get a head start. He agreed, but only if she could be there while I attended. I'm really glad she said yes because I learned some awesome things. Building and coding a robot showed me how technology could be used in amazing ways. It made me wonder how we could use data from fossils and create digital models in real time. This could help us piece together history in a fun 3D way. And that's all.
All right. Thank you, Knight. One question for you, Knight. Paleontologist.
Yeah.
What made you want to be that?
Mm-hmm.
I said, what made you want to be
Paleontologist?
that? Yes.
Oh. So one reason why I wanted to be a paleontologist was because, like I said while I was reading, I loved dinosaurs since I was little, and I loved to learn about them more. And once I got into the STEM program, I learned that being a paleontologist could study about fossils. And once you study about fossils, and for example, if someone asks you what environment that dinosaur lived in or what fossil it was, you could tell what his environment was. Because let's say if they don't know what it was and it was a Tyrannosaurus Rex's skull, you could say that it was a carnivore in its name. And after you say those things, you could explain to them about how it lived a long time ago. And
All right.
and the digital model of it, you can show that.
Okay. That's cool, Knight. Knight is 10 years old, there you said. Fifth grader. That's amazing that he can stand up there and present to people without stumbling and saying what he needs to say. Yes, ma'am.
Can we dim the lights so
Yes, ma'am.
the visibility would be better?
Okay.
It may affect you, though.
Should be all right. How's that?
That's great.
Okay. All right. At least just for this interview piece where you can actually see North Knight. We'll turn them down. But Knight, we're glad to have you. Thank you. You keep doing great things out there in San Antonio. We look forward to you coming back to check on us. All of your old friends are here. Brad, Emery, all them guys are saying hello as well. So keep up the good work, man. And we'll see you soon.
Next, You Do
Hard to
Matter
believe
program
that.
spotlight is Emery Williams, a graduating senior at Benjamin Franklin High School in New Orleans, Louisiana. He maintains a 3.8 GPA and has received offers from 10 universities, which includes 8 HBCUs from around the country. He is aiming to become an engineer. Please welcome Mr. Emery Williams to the stage.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
As you can tell, my name is Emery Williams. I'm a graduating senior at Benjamin Franklin High School, and I've been in the You Do Matter STEM program for about a decade now. I plan to double major in mechanical engineering and physics at Tuskegee University. They've offered me a full ride, of course, but I'm also currently a semifinalist for the Jack Kent Cook Scholarship, which is $55K a year. Wish me luck.
All right, good luck.
And I'm also in the running for the Ron Brown Scholar Program, which I've been dedicated the position of Ron Brown captain in New Orleans.
Oh, good.
And on top of that, I've also received full ride offers from Jackson State, LSU, Hampton, just to name a few.
Awesome.
Now, I've got to admit, throughout my childhood, I was always intrigued by the science world. At some point during 3rd grade or 4th grade, I had created a time machine, quote unquote, and brought it to show and tell. It was just always in my nature to do that. However, I was still confused about where I specifically wanted to go within this field. It was in this program that I found out that I had a love for physics. And through sheer mentorship and other things with my peers in that connection, I was able to remain diligent in my studies and dedicate myself towards that path. On top of that, my only dedication to this program was not just in my studies. My sister and I, who was also in this program, lost our mother around 2021. And through Mr. Josh's dedication to us, making sure that we had a great education outside of school and making sure that we enjoyed our time in this program, he maintained us through our grievances. And I am immensely thankful for that. Outside of school, I'm also a track and field athlete. I do high jump and long jump. And for some reason, my coach wants me to run. I am not very fast. Wish me luck on that one too.
Yeah.
And I am also an artist. I make music in my free time. I really enjoy alternative hip hop, pop, and rock music.
All right.
Any questions?
That's awesome. Awesome. Congratulations.
All right.
Good luck.
And we'll move on to our next candidate, which is
Our next You Do Matter program spotlight is Kira Robinson, was inducted into the You Do Matter program while in the 7th grade. She is currently a sophomore at Villanova University and a Posse Scholar, majoring in biomedical engineering. Kira has also started the very first official Force for Health student club at a university this past semester at Villanova. Please welcome Miss Kira Robinson to the stage.
Good morning, everybody. I'm sorry I couldn't be there with you guys today. I'm up at school, finishing off my spring semester. Like the small clip said, I've been with Force for Health and You Do Matter since I can't even remember now. It's been, like the other guy said, almost a decade. Like, it's been a while, but I've started the first Force for Health student organization on my campus. Like the video also said, I'm a Posse Scholar. Also sit on the board of a women's empowerment group called MSK, My Sister's Keeper. where we focus on bridging gaps between older women and younger women and building a relationship of mentorship and guidance while you're here on campus. I'm also a part of a cooking club where we teach cultural awareness through food. Um, and yeah, I just really leaned into the resources that was around me. Mr. Josh is always a phone call away. I always call his phone, even though I'm not physically with him all the time. And I appreciate everything that him, Lucy, and Dr. Rob gives to me.
Awesome.
All right. Kiara is up in Villanova, at Villanova University on a policy scholarship, as she stated. I've known Kiara I've known her longer than she's known herself. So Mama and I used to work together. So I remember her before she even got here, before we called her Kiara.
Okay.
So, but she has been a stellar to go to Villanova and stay there, where it ain't too many people that look like us at all. I think she was only the one that was in her group of her major.
Wow.
So I'm just glad that she could hold on, be steadfast and unmovable as she begins to continue to enhance and create her own story, we would say.
Beautiful.
All right. Thank you, Kiara. We appreciate you.
Our next You Do Matter program spotlight is Sean Blondell II, who was inducted into the You Do Matter program while in the 5th grade. He is currently a sophomore at Howard University studying mechanical engineering. Please welcome Mr. Sean Blondell to the stage.
Can you see me? You good?
Yes, we can, Mr. Sean.
All right, good morning, everybody. Like the slide said, my name is Sean Blondell II. I am a sophomore mechanical engineering mathematics minor at Howard University from New Orleans, Louisiana. I attended Benjamin Franklin High School, and apparently from the slide, I've been with You Do Matter since 5th grade. I've been there so long, I can't even remember, to be honest. But I do attend Howard University. I am a Fosse Scholar and a Lockheed Martin Scholar. And as far as campus involvement goes, I am a part of NSBE, which is the National Society of Black Engineers, which is an organization that tries to provide opportunities and networking and leadership for people who look like us in the engineering industry. I'm also a member of the Men of George Washington Carver Incorporated, which is a organization that tries to get freshmen involved through community service, brotherhood, manhood pillars. So we provide them with opportunities to kind of network on campus, to gain the positions they want on campus, whether it's student government or just some type of club, but also just to make sure that they're matriculating well from high school to college. Especially for me, the biggest thing I gained from that was, a sense of community, especially because of the fact that Howard University is a 20-hour drive away from New Orleans, Louisiana. So it's not close to home. It's definitely very far, but, you get that sense of home on campus. So.
Good.
Very good, Sean. How is it going in D.C.?
Oh, it's great. It's great. Definitely cold. Cold, but it's going really good. We just finished campaign season, so a lot of people were around running for positions on campus. And
Yeah, Sean was in the one of the groups that we took to Washington, D.C. When he was in the 5th grade. Wow. We took him to see Howard University, and look how fortunate it is that he's now a sophomore student at Howard University. That he went and viewed as an elementary kid.
So for me, Howard University has always been on the table. Obviously, both of my parents attended Howard University. So the idea of attending a HBCU period, it really didn't matter which HBCU, but the idea of attending a HBCU period was kind of like always pushed onto me. just because it's good to be around people who look like you. Obviously,
Right.
eventually you're going to need to, go into those spaces where there are people who don't look like you. So take the time in school to be around those people, to learn from those people, and to build connections with those people so that when you go into those places where there aren't necessarily people who look like you, you always have someone to lean on. I did get into a multitude of schools. I got into FAMU, full rides from like Tuskegee, everything down in the South. But me personally, I knew I wanted to get far away from home. Like I wanted to go away and explore something different. Because home is always there. You can always go home. It's always an option. So make sure that when you're going to college, you take the opportunity to, experience something new, whether that's, 3 hours away, 5 hours away, or like me, 20 hours away. I mean, just experience something different and don't be scared to experience it.
Awesome.
All right, Sean, thanks a lot, man. We appreciate that. We want you to keep up that good work that you're doing. And in 2 years, we'll all be out of there and move on to the next stage of life. All right?
Thank you.
No problem. Thanks again, man. All right.
Next You Do Matter program spotlight is Alejandro Bailey, who was inducted into the You Do Matter program while in the 7th grade. He is currently a Posse Scholar and graduating senior at Tulane University. Please welcome Mr. Alejandro Bailey to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Alejandro Bailey. There was a little typo, but yeah. My name is Alejandro Bailey. I am a senior at Tulane University studying cellular and molecular biology and have a Spanish minor. And today I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and a little bit about how Mr. Josh has been an essential part of my life. First and foremost, I always knew that I wanted to be in the STEM field. I didn't know exactly where, but in order to explore my options, my parents saw it necessary that I come join Mr. Josh's program. Every Saturday, I'll be woken up by my parents, and they would drive me down to Mr. Josh's program, and I'll be like, oh, I got to get up early again. But yet, I still enjoyed every single moment of it because I was learning and I was experiencing things that I knew would change my life. From assembling a computer to coding to programming a robot, all these activities, although aren't going to be in my career path further, still taught me a lot about the world and a lot about how technology works, and technology goes into every single field that we see today. Right. So I had to learn it in some capacity. And actually, I do plan on taking it to my field in some way, shape, or form, because the iPads that are being placed in hospitals for translation and to assist between the communication between patient and doctor, I plan on developing those iPads as like a side thing outside of being a doctor. So yeah, that's just a side note. But as far as what type of doctor I want to become an anesthesiologist. And currently, as I said, I'm a graduating senior at Tulane University. So in this upcoming May, I will be graduating, and my plan is to go to medical school. Fingers crossed I get into LSU Medical School. I plan on doing an MD, MPH program. So not only am I getting my medical degree, I also plan on getting a master's of public health in preferably community health sciences and policy, because I also want to be in on the decisions and in on the talks about what's going to improve my community.
Yes.
What's as it relates to the time that you spent in the program, what was the most, I guess, impressive piece that you were able to learn? You were actually in Lake Forest Elementary, I think the 5th grade.
Yeah. When
you first came in,
wow.
And since then we've actually had an opportunity to go to DC for the unveiling of the MLK Memorial. We've been to DC for the space, visiting the Space Center. What has been one of the most impressive pieces that you have experienced throughout the program?
I would say that trip that you had the honor of taking us on to Washington, D.C., and not just Washington, D.C. We saw other historical monuments and we basically did a whole trail of civil rights movements or monuments that have had importance on civil rights movements. The reason I feel like that was very important was because, one, I go to Tulane University. For high school, I went to Benjamin Franklin High School. So for a good period of time, I haven't had the access to see people that look like me in my spaces. I basically had to pioneer a space for people that look like me. And I feel like that gave me the inspiration to do that, because all these civil rights leaders, all these civil rights activists, they had to do the exact same thing.
Right. Awesome.
Hey, Josh.
Yes.
Very quickly, I'm wondering, because we are well on time, I have the 1 minute and 17-second video when Alejandro did his presentation, poem, the speech from that trip. I'd like to play it, if that's okay.
Do that.
Awesome. Okay, here you go.
My name is Alejandro Bailey, and I am a graduating senior at Benjamin Franklin High School in New Orleans, Louisiana. Currently, I am committed to Tulane University. All of this was made possible by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the many other African Americans throughout history who stood up for our rights. Because of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I was given the same education as people of other skin colors. Because of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I was able to dream big and actually chase those dreams. Because of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I found a community I can call a family. Because of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I am able to live like all human beings should. And lastly, because of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I am judged by the contents of my character instead of the color of my skin, just as he intended. Because of his sacrifices and contributions, I stand before you today a young, gifted, proud Black scholar whose dreams and aspirations are endless. Thank you and happy birthday, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Come on, man. I'm crying. Back to you, Josh.
Awesome.
One thing I forgot to say, I'm attending Tulane University as a posse scholar. So yeah, I got a full ride there, and I'm living my best life.
Good.
No student loans.
Yay.
Appreciate that, man. Thanks again.
Next You Do Matter program spotlight is Amy Gilio Commissar, who is currently living in Cincinnati, Ohio. She served as a 2007 summer intern with the You Do Matter program. Currently, she is a school counselor at Great Lakes Career Technical Center in Cincinnati, Ohio. Please welcome Mrs. Amy Gilio Commissar to the stage.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I'm laughing because my headshot is me wearing black. I'm sitting in my car, and here I am on this call wearing black, sitting in the car. But that's where I spend most of my time now. It seems I've stepped out of a kid's birthday party as I'm at the age of commuting to work and also driving my kids around everywhere. But thank you for having me today. I am Dr. Rob Gilio's daughter, as was mentioned, I think earlier, and I was able to cross paths with Josh in 2007. I was a senior in high school when Hurricane Katrina happened. And then in 2007, I was a young college student, kind of on my own adventure. And part of that adventure included interning with the Just Willing Foundation and also with the health department in New Orleans. And so I had a variety of roles and kind of a whirlwind summer there. But when I'm on this call and just listening to the incredible stories of the other people on this call that were the age, that I was when getting involved with this program, it's just it's an incredible thing to think that it's an incredible thing to think about how by crossing paths with this program in different capacities, everybody's lives kind of turned into some trajectory of success. And I always knew that I wanted to work with children. I wasn't sure in what capacity, but with a variety of experiences and honestly a somewhat life-changing experience of being able to visit New Orleans during such a scary and a scary and stressful time, but also a time of such hope, really helped me to kind of hone in how I wanted to continue to work with young people and continue to help try to cross paths with them in a way that could promote change. And so now I'm about 13 years into my career of being a school counselor at the Great Oak. Well, I 13 years into being a school counselor. I've worked in a variety of environments, urban and rural, and now I'm at a career technical high school with high school juniors and seniors from 36 affiliate school districts. So I have an awesome opportunity to work with people every day as they're navigating these systems and embarking on their own futures. So I'm really honored that you have included me in this programming today. After my short but really exciting, interesting experience in 2007 with the program.
Amy, I know your dad is there with you on the screen as well. I would be remiss if I didn't let him say a word or two. Doc, you can respond.
Well, I'm just poor Amy was put in a situation by you, Josh, where you leaned on me saying, I need help. I have more kids that want to be in this program than I do have mentors to help me run the program. Can Amy and a couple of her college friends hang out and do it for a few days? And they did. And I think the whole Hurricane Katrina experience may have had an effect on her, may not. She's just a good person, always has cared for others. But I think, Josh, she learned from you, and you have taught me that the effect of one adult that cares, even for a little while in someone's life, can set their trajectory based on their self-esteem. And Amy is someone who continues to care for the students in her schools. She has worked in an inner city setting, in middle school, in a rural setting, in high school, and now in career and technology, where she sees that even though your scholars are posse scholars and are at the top of their fields, great schools, including HBCUs in Villanova, there's great careers to be had based on the interest, and a lot of them STEM interests like you were teaching. So Amy and I learned a lot from you, Josh, and I really appreciate you getting pulled into this, Amy, in the reunion, and Josh, you recognizing that a little bit of volunteer activity maybe affects two lives. Maybe it affected the kids she interacted with a little, but it really affected the rest of us that interacted with the program.
What I will say, I know it's unlimited time, but I do want to respond to it, is I want to say, we joke that I got sucked into it. I mean, who doesn't get sucked into something when you're in Dr. Gilio's or my dad's orbit, right? But all of it is for such good things. His partnership with John changed his life a ton, and has with Lucy, and therefore our lives. But what I want to say about my time in New Orleans, although brief in comparison, is enjoying other people's input on this call. Is in our jobs, in our lives, we don't always get to see an impact, or we don't always get to know how somebody's life turned out. And I love to think that if you have that compassion, and if you have that stability, and if you have that interest in being there for somebody, even if they don't look back and say, oh my gosh, this thing changed my life in this way, it could be a recipe or a series of events of stability and kindness and interest and investment that, like, then we get to hear these success stories of, like, oh my gosh, now this person's going to medical school. Oh my gosh, now this person's able to attend the college of their dreams. And so for me, I just love to know that any intervention with programs like this can have that ripple effect impact, even if it's not, you know what I'm trying to say with that.
Yeah, but that's what it's all about. Amy, thank you. I know that you are in Cincinnati, still trying to counsel and support people with many different myriad of problems. We're appreciative of the time that you shared with us back in 2007. Thank you. There in the hood of Algiers, a place called Beautiful Zion. We really had a nice time. I think we had around about 30 kids in that program.
And I remember we planted flowers and seeds. That was my contribution.
Exactly. That flower garden. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. But thanks again for sharing with us. We appreciate that. We're trying to do this yearly to make sure that we can actually access all of our students, not just some of them, but all of them. All right, Lucy, we'll call the next person.
Spotlight is Derek Thompson, who was inducted into the You Do Matter program while in the 10th grade. He has an honors graduate from University of Southern Mississippi with a Bachelor's of Science degree. He is currently pursuing a dual Master's of Science and Business Administration degree at USM. Please welcome Derek Thompson to the stage.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Thank y'all for being here. But my name is Derek Thompson. It's with one R on the little screen. But yeah, I graduated from Thomas Jefferson High School in the year 2020. And prior to that, around middle school, I joined the You Do Matter program. And so my dad, Mr. Josh had came to my church, St. Mary, and Mr. Josh had wanted me to join. I was a little hesitant because it was going to be on Saturday mornings. I didn't feel like getting up on Saturdays. So, but in the end, I ended up getting a whole lot of experience. One of the main things that Mr. Josh had taught me was to do what you want to do and do it and do something that's enjoyable. So prior to going to USM, I was kind of torn about what I wanted to do. I thought about electrical engineering. My brother was in civil engineering at the University of Southern, so that was hanging over my head. So, but at the end of the day, I knew that my whole life that I wanted to do something with sports. I was in love with sports. I would watch all football games, all basketball games. And so I ended up going to the University of Southern Mississippi to pursue a sports management degree. And so in 3.5 years, I graduated with my sports management degree. Summa cum laude.
Yeah.
So I took a semester off. Then one of my professors, he emailed me about an opportunity to come back and pursue a dual major degree, get a Master's of Science in Sports Management and a Master's of Business Administration. And so currently I'm on track to finish that in 1.5 years this December.
Yeah.
And as I continue to go on, I have nothing lower than an A, so hopefully I'll be finished.
They're smart.
Awesome. Yes, awesome. Very smart.
Derek, with the degree that you're looking at attending, we was trying to get one of the owners of the Saints to actually come out and meet with you, but that schedule did not link up together. But we're still going to try to make that happen, just so you can actually begin to experience some of those things of what goes on, and of course operations as it relates to a sports management team. So we're still going to push that to make sure that whether it's the Saints, whether it's the Pelicans, whether it's whomever, we're going to get somebody in, and you're going to have a sit down with one of them to actually get some directions on exactly what to do.
Awesome.
But Derek is, like I said, he's graduating in December.
Yeah.
And just started.
Yeah.
With a master's. We're pleased with him as well. Thanks again, man.
Awesome.
Our next You Do Matter program spotlight is Toya George, MD, who was inducted into the You Do Matter program in 2007 and received the Charles C. Teamer Senior Scholarship. She is currently a pediatrician at Baker Health Systems in New York. Please welcome Ms. Toya George, MD, to the stage.
Josh, I'm just checking in here. I'm not. Oops. Josh, I'm just checking in here. I'm not seeing Dr. George here. Is she there?
No, you had her video.
Ooh, okay. I did not know that. So I knew that this was going too good. So let's go ahead and I will try and find that. But,
okay, I'll give her the overview of her.
Sure.
Dr. Toy, you got her picture, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Dr. Toya George, ironically, when I got to New Orleans in 1985, I met her dad, who was actually from the same place I was from. And so, when you leave a country and you come to a big city, you're going to need to find somebody that can kind of shelter you and lead you the way. And he did that. Her dad did that for me. I actually served as Toya's babysitter as my intern, as my work study when I was a freshman here. But now she has, of course, graduated and matured to be a lead pediatrician at Baker Health Systems in New York. So, and she had prepared a message that we were going to try to see if we could find to actually share with you guys. But like I say, she came through the program through me, and she has matriculated into a fine medical doctor as a pediatrician up in New York. And that is Miss Toya George from also New Orleans, Louisiana.
I apologize, Josh. We're going to have to go ahead and amend that to
no
a video later on. So we'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and bring up the agenda if you'd like.
That'll be fine. Thanks. Also, she received the Charles C. Timo. You guys know, if you didn't know who Charles C. Timo was, Charles C. Timo was, of course, the vice president of Dillard University and also my mentor as it relates to me when I came to Dillard. Someone who, along with Dr. Sammy Du Bois Cook, made it possible for me to stay at Dillard and maintain my academic quest. I was supposed to be that guy after the first year to go back home. When you get to a big city, especially a school with men and women, sometimes you lose track and direction on where you need to be. And I actually found myself rolling down that course. But they saw something in me that they knew would be special. So, of course, coming from the country, I didn't have the funds to pay Dillard, private institution. So I told the president and I told Dr. Timo, I was like, look here, guys, because they had formed a liking to me. I said, look here, I'm going to have to go back home, sit out a year and work, and then come back the following year. And Dr. Cook, in his wisdom, said, boy, you ain't coming back here if you go on. So he said, no, Timo. He said, we need to find something for him to do. So he said, Dr. Timo said, well, you don't mind sitting out a year, right? I said, no, not at all. So you don't mind not graduating with your class, right? I said, no, not at all. He said, what we're going to do, we're going to hire you on as an employee for a year. Make your money, and then you enroll back in classes the following year. So that saved my academic quest as it related to finishing up at Dillard. Because I was headed back home to the fields of Quincy to actually get a job. So that's one of the reasons why we have the Charles C. Timo Scholarship. With that in mind, what I wanted to do was, in all this process, we have plenty of people that actually support us. And some of the people that made it possible for me to go to Washington, D.C. with these kids, made it possible for me to buy some of the technology pieces for these that were utilized with these kids. Their participation, without their participation, this wouldn't be available. So what we wanted to do was highlight some of those people. David, I'm going to start off with somebody who we highlighted last year as a mother of the You Do Matter Foundation. I'm going to ask her two grandsons to walk up here, if they don't mind. And Mother Hubbard, you could. Can you stand up? Come on and roll on over here. Okay. Yeah. Just want to honor you. Yeah. Just drive that thing on over here. Because I got the camera right here and I want them to see you. All right.
Josh, can you turn the lights up for this part?
Yes, I will. Yes.
Thank you.
All right, come on, slide on over a little bit so you can see yourself on there.
There you go. Oh,
there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Miss Rita Hubbard.
All right.
At the tender young age of 94, I'm sorry.
Oh,
94 years young. We have adopted as our mother of the You Do Matter Foundation.
yes.
With that in mind, her boys, her grandchildren, were actually in the program as well.
Awesome.
Who is joining her today, which is Brett and Brandon.
All right.
The
All right.
And you all know their mom, Jill, about it. All right? You want to say a few words, Madam Hubbard?
Okay, I'll say this. And it's something I think about every time we tend to assemble, either with or without students. So it was like 10 years or so ago that I really became involved in the program. And right now, he hasn't asked me to do anything.
Well, at 94, I don't want you to do too much.
But what has impressed me about the program is not so much what they have learned, subject matter, but rather something that no one ever cite as an important element of the program. And I think the most important thing about this program is teaching the boys and girls how to think scientifically.
Amen.
And nobody ever thinks about saying is teaching them how to think. But these young people learn early in the program how to look at a situation and start thinking about it analytically.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a situation where they are not even aware of their analyzing the program or analyzing the problem that way. They just do it. But to me, that enables students in the program to ultimately be successful in high school, in college, and graduate school. So as long as the program teaches thinking, I will be involved. Because when you're thinking, you push away your own personal thoughts about it and just look at what is real. And I appreciate the program that teaches these young people to think, even the little ones. So That's what I have learned in observing the program all these years. And I congratulate these young men here present for using the thought process to make them achieve their goals. Thank you. He didn't tell me I was supposed to say it.
Yep, that is Mother Hubbard, the one who took me up on her wing when I was here at Dillard. And I appreciate that, who's also another graduate of Dillard as well. All right. And at this point in time, I wanted to have an opportunity, because we in the process of doing some things, we kind of want to always keep in mind, keep in prayer, and keep in love those individuals who are no longer with us. And I'm lucky to have, of course, I told you about Emery's mom, who passed a couple of years ago. And we also have another parent who's here, Kinetra, and her sister, because both of them know me very well by bringing their kids to the program, who are now, hers is actually a young man now, but I have to laugh because her son was, he was a piece of work. He was a piece of work. He could always have you laughing just by his mannerism. I don't feel like doing that. But the reason why I brought it up is because Kinetra was the mother of Erneston. Erneston was a kid that kind of hung with me for a long time. And whatever I asked him to do, he would do it. No matter how shy he was about doing it, he would do it. And we wanted to pay honor to him today. So Kenesha, if you could come forward, and you can bring your sister with you. Because both of you guys had a piece of that program when we went to Washington, D.C. Yeah. We had about 50 kids that we took for a 4-day trip, leaving New Orleans, going to Atlanta. We toured the MLK Memorial in Atlanta. We left there, went to D.C., went to Howard, went to the Space Center, went to the White House. We just did some things that, as Ms. Hubbard said, we have to culturalize our kids. We have to show them. It's not often where they're going to go into the classroom and figure out how to program a robot. What school does that? What school is actually bringing coding into their curriculum now that's showing kids that there's another option that they can go with in coding or any option in STEM? So we're trying to fill that gap that sits there in the school system. So we wanted to at least pay tribute today to Erneston. And a lot of you guys remember Erneston, quiet little fella in the band. But we wanted to pay, I just felt it in my soul to pay tribute to her in his honor today. And we have I finally got a picture. A picture is not up, but I got a picture that we're actually putting together to give to you in the presentation of a plaque with his face on. All right. So Kenitra, if you want to say anything, you can. Yeah, I like doing that.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I don't remember the year. Probably was 2007-8 when Ernest joined the program, and he joined from church. They sent me a message and was like they wanted him to come on a Saturday to church or whatever, and I was like, okay, whatever it is, all right. However, I remember they gave him tithes. The men there gave him tithes, and some of the tithes was really, really, really expensive. And even though he's not here, he still has that tie.
He does.
He still has that tie. So they taught him how to tie ties or whatever. And every Saturday we got up, wherever the meeting place was, we was there. Long story longer, I told my sister about it. Made her put my nephew in it.
Because Ernest was the big cousin, and Antoine did everything Ernest did.
So on Saturday morning, I would get Ernest together, get AJ together, and we'd come to the program. Wherever it was, we was there. He graduated Helen Cox 2021, got a scholarship to Jackson State. He did a semester at Jackson State. And as I stated before we got started, he started having seizures. We was trying to figure out where the seizures was coming from. And the day we were going to figure out what was causing the seizures was the day he passed. So we kind of never really got the answer on where what was the cause of the seizures. So yeah, but thanks, Mr. Josh. Mr. Josh did through Mr. Josh, he experienced a lot. Ernest and my nephew AJ, they experienced a lot. They got to go a lot of different places, do a lot of different things. One thing I remember, they went to Arkansas, to the peak, yes. And I'm sorry. When they came back home, for about the next 3 days, he cried. Because the hotel they stayed at, they had the Ducks in it.
Yeah.
The Ducks did a performance, I guess at night or whatever, I don't know. But for the next 3 days, that's all he talked about. He remember, I want to go back and I miss the Ducks. Wow. But from Mr. Josh, my son did get to experience a lot, and I thank you for that. Yeah.
Why would you get out of it?
Yeah. You was a part of it as well.
Good morning. I am the parent of Antoine Coleman, and like my sister was explaining, her son Ernest was the big cousin, and so everything he did, my son wanted to be a part of. So he was excited to come along and to learn about computers and learn about tech, and it's actually caused him to go into what he's doing right now. He was recently hired on at the convention center to be a part of their production team, and right now he's currently attending Delgado, getting a tech certificate so he can go into some type of tech. And like I said, this has been pivotal in his education. He is very fascinated with building computers, repairing Xboxes, anything technical related. And I think it started from this program. I want to thank you for taking him on, because I know in the beginning it was a little challenging, but he worked with him, and through it all, he's doing wonderful now.
I would love to see him.
I'll set that up.
Come on, Queen. Also, before this individual leaves, I wanted to acknowledge him to everyone. With those programs you heard us talking about, it wouldn't be possible for individuals like this man I'm about to call up now, being able to allow us or me to expose these kids to a college atmosphere, to get their hopes up on going to school. Dean Joseph Byrd has been a friend of mine and also the vice president of Xavier University, where him and Dr. Francis saw fit to make sure that I had a place to train these kids as well on the campus of Dillard University. But Bert, if you want to say a quick word.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Josh, as everybody knows him as it. Look at Ray. I'm sitting here looking at these eyes. They know how to really make you feel old, I tell you. No, it was a pleasure when I worked at Xavier University to help Mr. Josh provide an opportunity for all of these young men. And when I look and I see Alejandro back there, is that Telly? Yeah. Oh, okay, that's Telly back there. And I see Ray. Unfortunately, I was a history major, so all this technology, you're supposed to come and teach me some technology. That's another story. But it was just a pleasure that the camera should be here this morning.
Yes.
Talking about the success of these young people. And I was just a part of supporting Mr. Josh and all of his work. And it is because of people like him that young people like this get a chance to go and become successful. I have this old saying, if you see a turtle sitting on a fence post, he didn't get there by himself. Because a turtle cannot climb the law of gravity. He can't climb a fence post and sit there. Somebody has to put him there. And I'm where I am because somebody helped put me there. And so, and when I see Alejandro and all these young people, it warms my heart. And that's because of the vision of Mr. Josh.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm going this week to celebrate 50 years of graduating from college. I went to William Carey University back when it was not popular to go there. But not only did I go there, but I went there and I graduated. And when this is the opportunity that I wanted to take all of my experience, all of my work, and put it back into a historically Black college like Xavier University. And I had the opportunity to work with absolutely the most amazing person I know in the world. That's Dr. Norman Francis. So thank you, Mr.
People like Dean Bird that actually gave us an opportunity to expose these young men to the actual different teachings that we were able to do so. Also, at this point, I think I had Telly. Could you come forward? Telly was one of our students that actually joined us early as well, and also participated in Washington D.C. trip as well. Telly.
First off, I would like to say good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Telly Medina, Jr. As he did say, I'm a junior at St. Augustine High School. And when I graduate next year, I plan on getting either into political science or maybe even sports management. Getting into when I started here I started with Mr. Josh around 5 years old because my dad told me you don't have much of a choice. And besides, learning about computers and going on a trip to DC, I think the most powerful part of me going to him and getting up early every Saturday morning was learning how to tie a tie. And obviously, because I go to St. Augustine High School, you got to know how to tie a tie. And who my dad is, the work he does, you definitely have to know how to tie a tie. And I'm eternally grateful for him, for all the stuff he's done for me, all the stuff he's done for my family. And without him, I definitely wouldn't be here. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Telly. Also, we have, as we go to do our acknowledgments, of course, you've heard from Dr. Rob, you heard from Lucy. Representative Patrick Jefferson played an amazing piece to actually help us get to where we were as it relates to establishing and experiencing some of the things that we were able to experience just because of his leadership. But I would like to, at this point, do acknowledgments and acknowledge, of course, some other students that have came through the program that may not want to get up here in front of you all and talk. So I'm going to call them out anyway. Ray Alvarez, the third. Ray has been with me since he was knee-high too. We actually worked. I actually taught him. Then I actually hired him to work. So Ray is a striving entrepreneur, as well as in the workforce, which that's how you have to do things these days. You can't just work one job. You need to work more than one. So, and that's what we're trying to teach our kids now, is that it doesn't come easy. Right. And, a job is just over broke. That's what that stands for, and I try to teach them that. You're just over broke. You ain't never gonna get nowhere with just a job. So you got to do something else. Another one I wanted to acknowledge was Brett and Brandon Labat, who actually I babysitted them when I was in college as well. So, but now look at them. I was just looking at Telly. I saw a picture that I took with Telly in Little Rock. I think it was Little Rock. Telly was down here.
Yeah, he was.
Now he up here. It's amazing. I guess I'm getting old.
Oh.
I guess. But these guys are growing, like I said, and everybody that comes through our program, guys, please don't get it twisted. It's not a posse scholar. I don't expect them to be. I want those individuals like Antoine, even though they're funny, but the way that Antoine transitioned from being a spoiled brat and not wanting to do anything to wanting to stay with us and grow. He did not want to miss Saturdays morning with us. And that's what we hope to change in that percent. Because when a person is introduced to something new, it's always hard for them to grasp on. But he hung with it. And with the prayers of myself and Ray, because Ray had to take him individually for a while. He couldn't even sit with all of them. So Ray bring him out, take him to a classroom, and him and Ray Alvarez sit down and talk for the whole class. But he has actually to know that he's moving forward, got a job, going to school. Hey, that's exactly what we had in mind of doing.
Yes.
So I more than anything else, because I know that this guy here, I know this guy here, y'all can do it. Y'all have proven that. What I was trying to do is help the ones that may not be that easily to get there.
Right.
And that is still one of my major ambitions, is to do that. All right. And the other one is, my daughter is back there in the back, Jada, who actually started out in the program as well, who didn't want to do computers at all. And I didn't make her do it. I didn't tell her that she had to go into computers. No. Same thing with Josh. I didn't have to tell her they had to go to computers. But I told them they better learn something.
Learn something. That's right.
Yeah, they better learn something, just in case you have to fall behind. Now look at it. She's an accountant for the Sewage and Water Board, which they're having all kind of problems. So we hope that she can help them kind of straighten them out. Please don't go ask her about no bill, because she ain't in bills. She just in payments. But those are the type of things, and like I said, they had no other choice. She could go to school where she wanted to, but she
click your mouse. There you go.
She actually graduated from Dillard, which that was the last school that she had on her list, because I was from Dillard.
Right. Right.
So she graduated in 21, and her sister, who definitely had us a -2.
Oh.
Not the last one, but the -2.
-2.
Below the 0, who wasn't going to come to Dillard.
Right.
Ended up graduating from Dillard in 23.
Right.
So I am ecstatic, and I'm actually challenged from the standpoint that kids can do what they want to do when they want to do it. I am convinced of that. They can do what they want to do when they want to do it and how they want to do it. We have some other kids that are, Justin Marine is in Houston, and his grandma is here with us. You raise your hand, Miss T. Yeah, yeah, he's in Houston. They relocated to Houston, but she was one of the ones instrumental in bringing him every Saturday. And see, I can't do it by myself. I have to have these parents. I have to have these grandparents. I have to have these support figures, right? Because I just can't do it. I can do the teaching. I can spend all day with them, but I can't do everything. So, you guys helping to bring them, to get them there slightly on time on Saturday morning. Because that was always a challenge. But I'm still on that mission. of doing that. So now I'm doing third and fourth graders because I realized that the smaller I start, the better opportunity I have to actually change their mentality on what they're supposed to be doing. So in Florida, we have the third grade enrollment going on. And with that, I have partnered with some of the banks in Florida and Gadsden County, and we are setting them all up with savings accounts. And part of the curriculum is that they have to go and make a deposit at least once a week. I don't care if it's a nickel, I don't care if it's a penny, I don't care if it's a dime, I don't care what it is, but they have to bring a receipt that they have went to the bank and they have did their transaction. That does a couple of things. Number one, it creates them a relationship with the banker.
Right.
And that is, you can't even put the importance on that. Even for you guys who are going off to college now, you can't put the importance on that because this whole world is ran on relationships. Whether you believe it or not. Why do you think the situation with Trump, where he's taking care of all his friends? It's relationships. That's all it is, straight up relationships. So you have to create and bond those relationships in order to move anywhere. And that's one of the seeds that I planted when I was at Dillard. That's why Dr. Tima, that's why Dr. Cook allowed me to actually stay.
Right.
And they found something for me to do. I was the only student that was working at a university full time. And I know there had to be some type of employment infraction. Because I don't know, but like I said, they did it. I matriculated, and that's all. But I would like to, if I could, as we wind up, I wanted to ask Dr. Rob and Lucy, who are my partners with the Force for Health organization, to come on and actually do some a parting message to you guys. Let me get the light.
Well, it's Josh, and I'd love for you to stay up there so we're not looking at a blank wall. But thank you so much for, of course, leading, managing, developing these incredible, health promoting citizens of the world. I mean, we are perfectly and totally aligned. I wanted to just take a quick moment and remind everybody that the Force for Health is happy to host the kind of call it Institute for You Do Matter. And we've been working with Josh, and that anybody can join for free. We are built as a free health academy. Okay, so you can go to the Force for Health Academy and you can join for free. There are some premium things. We even have Advance the Dream. Think of this as an online Facebook group that basically has a health academy integrated into it. And if you wanted to upgrade into like $1 per week, call it $49 for the year, of which You Do Matter would keep half of that, okay, as a fundraiser, then you would have access to all of our tools. That includes a personalized health risk report and a full-blown wellness and nutrition platform. So I just wanted to kind of remind folks that those are part of what the Force for Health is all about. We are an integrated and interactive media wellness platform that's trying to gamify engagement. Rob, final words.
We amplify and try and facilitate. Not every community is lucky enough to have a Josh Williams running a program like this. And what we are attempting to do is leverage technology so that the Josh Williams and the graduates of programs like this can be shared multiple times with watching a video or interacting, being part of a community, so that dozens or hundreds, thousands or millions of kids are touched by Josh Williams in his lifetime, and by the rest of the folks that realize you do matter.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Rob and Lucy. As we close out this piece, of course, be reminded that please be reminded that they have a jazz festival downstairs that you guys are invited to if you would like to stay. and see some music. They also have a health fair going on downstairs that you guys could actually pick up information that could be shared for everyone's health. All right. Anybody else? I see. I think I acknowledged everyone. But if anybody else had anything, just a burning desire but wanting to say something, you can at this time. All right then. Who that? Who that? Okay, come on, tell me.
You know I got something else.
Yes. What else say?
You know I knew I had something else to say. I don't know what this was. Excuse me, sir.
Well, first off, I would like to say thank all y'all for coming. But most importantly, I want to say thank you. You gave everyone that's on this call in this room an opportunity, and because of you, I'm not where I am. A lot of these kids that's in here are not where they are. And you know, when I first walked in as Xavier or Dillard, whichever one it was, at 5 years old, I'm like, what am I definitely thought, what am I doing? Because my dad said, look, he'll take care of you, you'll be okay. And look at me now. I graduate next year in a great school. Hopefully, I'll go to a great college. A lot of it's because of you. So thank you.
No problem. Very good. All right. If that's been okay. Come on down, Miss Teresa. This is the grandmother of one of our kids.
Mr. Josh, I started out with you in 2010. And when you came to the church, which was Mount Hermon Baptist Church in Avondale on Highway 90, and you started speaking to the church about the kids. My grandson, who he spoke of, Justin Marine, he was 3rd grade. And he loved to play with computers due to my older kids. He was my grandson. And he said to me, he said, I want to do that. But Mr. Josh had announced it was for upper grade kids. Justin said, well, why can't I come? I said, you can't. I went to Mr. Josh. I said, my baby want to participate. Mr. Josh said, well, let's see. Is he kind of, he settled down? I said, he's very settled. I said, because of his grandfather and his grandmother being military, he's very settled. And he was started with Mr. Josh in 3rd grade. Just on, but he was a child that loved to challenge the older kids. Whatever Mr. Josh gave him in a lesson, he wanted something harder to participate against the older kids in the class. You remember Brett? And that particular year, we had a graduation or something. My grandson was in 4th grade and he came in 1st place. Wow. The older kids, Brett, they were so upset. He took 1st place, and Mr. Josh gave awards that year. And 1st place was a smartwatch. The smartwatches had just came out. My baby still have that smartwatch. It's in the box. Still sitting in the place where it was that day. But Mr. Josh bought so many kids. He only spoke of a few, but he bought so many kids from where they were to succeed higher than what they are today. I follow with Mr. Josh. I will fix breakfast on Saturday morning. I said, we don't have the money to ask anybody to order. I will prepare breakfast, little biscuits with sausage and egg sandwiches and bring it to the church. And I told everybody, just come. You're going to have something to eat, Miss Johns? I said, just come. They had breakfast. We started class. We did it consistently. The kids came consistently. I handle tutoring. I teach ACT and SAT prep tests. I help kids prepare for college. I help them to apply for grants to get into college. Still doing it 20 years later. And I'm listening at him speak, and I came today because he said, Miss John, he said, Teresa, I need you to be there. My grandkids are not here, but I put them in this class in 2nd and 3rd grade too. He said, they said, we're not old enough, you're gonna be old enough today. And he had Justin, his brother Josiah, Jaden, they all came and sat there. I said, I don't care if you don't think you're gonna learn anything, but you're gonna listen. Because long as the seed is planted, it's gonna grow. Mm-hmm. And I came here today to tell him, Mr. Josh, I have so many students. I'm still in the school system. I have so many students that I'm going back. I had already told them about you do matter and what you do, but they based on the West Bank, and everybody does not have a computer. But we're gonna find a place where they can come, and we're gonna put it on the screen just like you have here, and we're gonna push this further and further, because this is what our kids need today. They need to know you can do other things that's more educational, more blessings, more succeeding than play the game on the computer and the cell phone. My kids came to me this week on Tuesday, Mr. Josh, and some of them told me, Miss Johns, they took our PE from us and we have to do math. I found that very strange. I said, huh? They took away your PE and now you're doing math in PE? Yeah, we have to learn our timetables. And I stepped back and I said, what? I said, well, guess what? Miss John's gonna help you. My husband looking at me. I went home. I taught my kids the multiplication by a Christian rap cassette tape from 1991. I went home, found me a cassette player. I was digging everywhere. I said, I know there's a cassette player in this house. And I pulled out that cassette tape. And I told him, when you with me for 30 minutes, we're going to listen at this Christian rap multiplication tape. And you're going to know your multiplication before you leave school this year. All of them. Because you should not be in 4th grade and don't know your multiplication. It's time. And when he spoke, he knows this is who I am. And I told the kids, I said, they said, you gonna do that? I said, watch me. I said, I have to sit at the school and wait for you for 30 minutes. So while we sitting before the school doors open, we're gonna listen at the Christian rap tape and we're gonna learn our multiplication. Because somebody have to step up and say, you know what? I may not be in the classroom with you, but I still care about you, even though I'm on the outside. And I'm gonna push you do matter. Pick up and push the line again, because I know there's kids that really want to do it, but they just don't know it yet. But it's planting the seed, and once you plant the seed, it will grow. Just give it a little nurturing and a little water, and it will grow. But I have to tell you, if it wasn't for Mr. Josh to come along, I don't know where a lot of the kids that I know still now who went through the program that used what Mr. Josh gave as a stepping stone to rise to the next level. And that's what this is. This is such a nurturing, energizing, just blessing to the students. And all we have to do is call up your neighbors, tell your children, tell your friends about You Do Matter. The more seeds we plant, the more we're going to pull them in. Because right now, we need to be pulling them in from east, west, north, south, every direction. Because they need this to grow. They need this to be able to take this world on for what the world is giving them now. They got to be able to stand in this world so we can know no matter what happens to us, we taught our children and our neighbor children and everybody, because you know they said when we came up, we was a village, and a village will always keep a brace around the loving of the community and the kids. We have to do that now. We got to step up to the plate and call out to all the kids and say, guess what? This is what here for you. All you have to do is step to the door and knock on it, and it will open for you.
Thank you, Mr. Reese. Appreciate that. It's people like you that actually have made this opportunity turn into reality. Like I said, just the small things of stepping up, preparing breakfast for the kids. They look forward to that. They definitely got there on time then. So, everything was a big help. And we really appreciate that, and I'm indebted about that as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this brings you to the end of our reunion celebration. This is something I'm trying to do every year. I will try to bring back additional set of individuals next year to actually come and give an update on where they are. We have them all over the place. Even some that actually, like I said, some are working now, some did not go to college that are working, got good jobs. And what we got to realize is that college ain't for everybody, and we know that, but a skill could be for anybody. And they got skill jobs that doesn't require college degrees that are actually building chips, which we like our kids to actually use their hands, that can actually get these high-paying jobs without having to go and get a college degree. So we're going to continue to push both avenues so that they can grow and learn from it. Thank you guys for your continued support. We will be starting another class up within the next month. We'll be recruiting third graders to come into this program. It is going to be working with Hope Federal Credit Union, which is a minority-owned credit union here in New Orleans. And they are downstairs today if anyone is interested in finding out more information about them. But the foundation will start off, all of the kids that enroll in this program, they will start off their savings account. So it won't be a cost to them, but it is a cost to continue to participate, meaning that we want them to go to the bank every week and deposit something. All right. And other than that, I want to thank you guys for coming to share with us. It's been real, as they say, and we're going to continue to keep the train moving and actually bring back as many kids as we possibly can. So I want to thank all you all for coming out and participating with us, and y'all have a blessed rest of the day.